Okay, so today we're going to talk about the mid-segment of a triangle. Okay, so mid-segment of a triangle. By definition, it is a segment. Okay, so by definition, it is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of a triangle. Okay, so that is the definition of it. So if I have a triangle and I find out that this is the midpoint of this segment, so in order to show that, I would have to show my tick marks. Okay, so that's how I tell someone that, hey, by the way, this is the midpoint. And then this is also the midpoint. Notice I'm using different ticks because this is not necessarily congruent to this one. It is this segment connecting the midpoint. So this right here is called the midsegment. Now the midsegment has some special properties that happens. So not only does it connect the midpoints, what I also know is that the midsegment equals half of the, I'm not sure how I want to word this, half of the base it is parallel to. Okay, so the midsegment equals half of the base it is parallel to. And I kind of have the other piece in there, and that is the fact that the midsegment is parallel to the base, parallel to the third side. Okay, so a couple things from this. Not only does it connect the midpoints, but I know that this segment is parallel to that segment. So remember, with parallel lines, you might see in here some corresponding angles, for example. And we also know that the midsegment is half of the base that it is parallel to. So if this piece is 5, this is half of this one. So that means this would have to be 10. You could also look at it that this side is twice the length of the midsegment. So let's look at some examples. So if this is, let's do 14. See. So if this is 14, then what is the length of the midsegment? So you do 14 divided by 2, and that would give you 7. Do example 2. We're going to make these a little bit more challenging with some algebra. So I know it's a midsegment because it's connecting the midpoints. I'm going to make this segment 2x minus 3. And then this one is x plus 9. A lot of algebra issues on this one. Because of that half that we talked about earlier, a lot of people screw up with the whole half thing. So I'm going to use the 2 instead. So I know if I have 2 of these, so 2 of these equals that. So I need 2 of my midsegments. That is going to equal that third side. So 4x minus 6 equals x plus 9. I'm going to subtract x after I distributed. So 3x minus 6 equals 9. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. 3x equals 15. And then divide both sides by 3 and get x equals 5. Now, if I were to label this as AB and this is CD, and I want to find the length of AB or the measure of AB, I would have to plug this value back in. So if I plug a 5 in here, 2 times 5 is 10, minus the 3 gives me a 7. And the measure of CD, this is 7. This should end up being 14. Let's make sure that that's right. If I put a 5 in here, 5 plus 9 does give me 14. So that does work. Do another one. This will be example 3. Okay, so we have a midsegment. I'm going to make this 2x minus 8, and this is 2x plus 8. You might want to pause, try this one on your own, and then compare the answer at the very end. Just a suggestion. So I know 2 of these equals my third side, or the side that I'm parallel to. So 4x minus 16 equals 2x plus 8. I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. 2x minus 16 equals 8. Add 16 on both sides. 2x equals 24. Divide both sides by 2, and I get x to equal 12. So again, let's label this as MN and label this as PQ. So the measure of MN, plug it back in. 2 times my 12 gives me 24. 24 minus 8 gives me 16. And the measure of PQ, if I put a 12 in here, I get 2 times 12 is 24 plus the 8. So 24 plus the 8 gives me 32. My answer is reasonable because 16 is half of 32. So that's what you're doing on midsegments. So again, let's kind of just recap midsegment. We're all on the same page. Okay, so just a quick recap of all the properties. If BC is the midsegment of triangle ADE, then 1, B and C are midpoints. 2, BC is parallel to DE. And 3, either BC equals half the length of DE, or you can think of it as 2 BCs equals the length of DE. So these are all the properties of midsegments.